barrier shimmered like liquid metal across Earth's orbital space. For 300 years, it had contained humanity, a perfect sphere extending just beyond Mars. Commander Kate Morrison stood at the bridge viewport of the EDF Valiant, watching the energy field that had imprisoned her species for generations. "Final checks complete," Adrian Cole said from his tactical station. "The resonance device is charged to maximum capacity." Kate gripped the command rail. 12 previous attempts to breach the barrier had failed. 12 crews lost. But this time they had something different. A weapon built from recovered technology found in the Mars ruins. "All stations report ready," Diana Martinez announced, her fingers dancing across the communications panel. "Fleet is in position." The bridge fell silent. 20 ships waited, in formation, humanity's best hope for freedom. Kate took a deep breath, tasting recycled air and metal. "Begin the sequence," she ordered. The resonance device hummed to life. Energy readings spiked across every monitor. The barrier rippled, its surface distorting like a pond in a storm. "Power at 90%, Adrian called out. "Structure failing at grid point 7. Kate leaned forward. "Push it harder. Redirect emergency power." Warning lights flashed. 8. The ship groaned. On the viewport, the barrier began to tear, a jagged hole forming in the silver wall. "We have breached," Diana shouted. Reading clear space beyond, ... double quotes. The celebration died in her throat. Through the growing hole, massive ships appeared, dozens of them. Warships larger than anything Earth had ever built. "Multiple contacts," Adrian said, his voice tight. "Energy signatures match human technology." Kate's blood ran cold. "Human?" The answer came as a transmission cut through their comms. A woman's face appeared on the main screen. Human. Wearing a crisp military uniform unlike anything from Earth. "This is Admiral Lisa Chen of the Imperial Fleet. For 3 centuries, we have contained your contaminated society. Your quarantine ends today. Surrender and prepare for purification, or be destroyed." Kate's hands clenched. "Open a channel to Earth Command." "They're jamming us," Diana said. "We're cut off." Through the viewport, the Imperial ships moved into attack formation. Kate saw weapon ports opening, missiles aligning. "Orders, Commander," Adrian asked quietly. Kate Morrison straightened her back. Earth had waited 3 centuries for freedom, so they wouldn't surrender now. "Launch all fighters," she commanded. "Sound general quarters. The Empire wants a war. Let's give them one they'll never forget." The first missiles streaked across space as klaxons began to wail. Space erupted in fire. The Valiant S-shields buckled under the Imperial barrage as Earth fighters scattered between the larger ships like angry wasps. "Port shields critical," Adrian shouted over the battle noise. "We can't take another direct hit." Kate gripped her chair as the ship shuddered. "Diana, status on the other ships?" "The Intrepid and Defiant are gone. Foreign has heavy damage." "Wait, ... double quotes. Diana's face went pale. "Commander, the Challenger just powered down its weapons." On the tactical display, one of Earth's destroyers broke formation. It turned toward the Imperial fleet, its IFF signal changing. "They're defecting," Adrian said. His hands flew across the console. "The Challenger is transmitting our shield frequencies to the enemy." Kate's mind raced. They'd trained together, fought together. How long had the Empire been planning this? "New transmission?" Diana called out. Admiral Chen's face appeared again, her expression cold. "Our own people see the truth, Commander Morrison. Earth's isolation was necessary. The genetic modifications your ancestors made, the augmentations they created, something dangerous. It's something that needs to be controlled." The ship rocked from another impact. Warning lights flashed across every station. "Multiple hull breaches," Adrian reported. "We're losing power to weapons." Kate watched more Imperial ships emerge from hyperspace. Earth's fleet was surrounded, outgunned. But she saw something else, a pattern in the enemy formation. Adrian, plot a course between their command ships. "Diana, send this to all Earth vessels. Execute maneuver Broken Arrow." "That's suicide," Adrian protested. "Their crossfire will tear us apart. Their formation is too perfect," Kate said. "They've forgotten what real combat feels like." All power to forward shields. The Valiant surged forward. Imperial ships fired, but their precise positioning worked against them. They couldn't shoot without risking friendly fire. Earth's remaining ships followed, punching through the Imperial line. The Valiant's hull screamed as metal stressed to breaking point. They broke through. Open space waited ahead. But as Kate began to breathe easier, Adrian's console erupted in alerts. "Massive energy spike," he yelled. "Something's coming through their fleet." The space behind them warped. A ship emerged, larger than anything they'd seen. Its hull bore the scars of ancient battles. Admiral Chen's voice came through once more. "You forced our hand, Commander. The Patriarch himself has arrived. Now you'll understand why Earth was caged." The massive ship's weapons began to charge, and Kate realized the real war was only beginning. The Patriarch's ship fired. Beam of concentrated energy cut through space, slicing to Earth vessels in half before they could evade. "What? Get us behind that asteroid field," Kate ordered. The Valiant dove between massive rocks as more beams lanced through the void. Adrian worked his console frantically. "Commander, I'm detecting something strange about that weapon signature. It matches the barrier technology." "The barrier?" Kate's mind raced. "Diana, get me everything we have from the Mars ruins. Now." Warning klaxons blared. A squad of Imperial fighters had flanked their position. "Multiple impacts," Adrian shouted. "Engineering reports critical damage to the reactor core." The ship lurched. Kate grabbed her chair as sparks flew from damaged consoles. Through the chaos, Diana's voice cut through. "Commander, I found it. The Mars data. It's not about containment. It's about protection." She looked up, eyes wide. Earth wasn't imprisoned. We were being shielded. The Patriarch's ship launched another attack, vaporizing the asteroids around them. Kate saw something in the energy pattern, a flaw. "Adrian, transfer all power to the resonance device." "What?" "That thing barely cracked the barrier because we were using it wrong." "Diana, send these coordinates to all surviving ships." The deck plates shuddered. Emergency lights flashed as systems failed across the ship. Kate watched the tactical display as Earth's remaining vessels formed up behind them. "The Patriarch's weapon," Kate said. "It's not just similar to the barrier. It is the barrier. They've been using it to control entire systems. But Mars knew. Mars tried to warn us. The massive ship bore down on them, its weapon charging for a killing blow." Kate felt the weight of centuries pressing down on her shoulders. "All ships, fire resonance devices on my mark." The enemy beam lashed out. At the same moment, Kate gave the order. Every Earth ship fired, their combined energy meeting the Patriarch's weapon. Space itself seemed to bend. The resonance wave amplified, growing stronger as it followed the enemy beam back to its source. The Patriarch's ship shuddered, its weapon overloaded, energy cascading through its systems. But before the Earth fleet could press their advantage, Adrian's voice cut through the bridge. "Commander." His face had gone white. "I'm reading thousands of ships dropping out of hyperspace. An entire Imperial armada." Kate stared at the tactical display as new contacts appeared everywhere. They had wounded the Patriarch, but now they faced the full might of an empire that had ruled the stars for 300 years. And they were running out of miracles. Imperial ships filled every sensor screen. The wounded Patriarch vessel retreated behind a wall of fresh warships as Admiral Chen's voice came through the static. "Serve Commander Morrison? This is the power that has kept peace for centuries. Surrender now." Kate looked at her crew. Diana's hands trembled over her console. Adrian's face was streaked with blood from a cut on his forehead. They had one advantage left: the truth about the barrier technology. Adrian scanned their fleet formations. "Diana, broadcast on all frequencies." The Imperial Armada launched their first volley. Missiles streaked across space as Kate grabbed the cum. "To all Imperial ships, your leaders lied to you. The barrier wasn't meant to contain Earth. The Mars ruins prove it was built to protect humanity from something else. Something your leaders don't want you to know about." More impacts rocked the ship. Emergency bulkheads slammed shut across multiple decks. "Hull breach on Deck 4, Adrian reported. "Wait. Commander, some of the Imperial ships are holding fire." Kate pressed on. 300 years ago, Mars tried to warn Earth, but the Empire destroyed them and twisted their technology into a weapon. Ask yourselves why. What are they hiding? The tactical display shifted. Several Imperial ships broke formation. Multiple ships powering down weapons, Diana called out. "They're listening." Admiral Chen's voice cut through again, but this time it shook with rage. "Enough. All ships, execute final protocol." "Authorization, Chen 7. Her transmission cut off. Through the viewport, Kate watched Imperial ships turning their weapons on each other. "Civil war," Adrian breathed. "The fleet is tearing itself apart." But victory slipped away as the Patriarch's vessel emerged from behind its screen of ships. Its weapon had recharged, and this time it targeted Earth itself. "No," Kate whispered. The beam would punch through the planet's atmosphere, killing millions. Adrian's hands flew across his console. "Commander, if we detonate our reactor core while firing the resonance device, the explosion would ripple through their barrier technology. It would destroy them, but ... double quotes, but we'd die too," Kate finished. She looked at her crew, saw the same determination in their eyes. "Diana, send our tactical data to Earth. Adrian, plot collision course with the Patriarch's ship." The Valiant's engines flared. Behind them, the Imperial fleet continued to fracture, but Kate focused on their final target. "For Earth," she said quietly. "For Mars. For the truth." The ship accelerated toward its destiny as the Patriarch's weapon began to glow. But in that moment, every sensor on the bridge lit up with new contacts. Hundreds of ships appeared from hyperspace, bearing markings no one had seen in 3 centuries. The Mars fleet had returned. The Mars fleet ships were battle-scarred titans, their hulls marked with the same symbols found in the ruins. They moved with precision, forming a barrier between Earth and the Patriarch's vessel. "This is Commander Sarah Blackwood of the Mars Defense Force," a new voice announced. "We've waited 3 centuries in deep space, gathering strength. Now we end this." The Mars fleet opened fire. Their weapons pulsed with the same resonance technology, but refined, perfected. The Patriarch's beams scattered against their combined shield. "Multiple Imperial ships surrendering," Diana reported, her voice thick with emotion. "Admiral Chen's vessel is powering down." Kate watched in awe as the Mars fleet surrounded the Patriarch's ship. On the tactical display, Adrian highlighted their formation. "They're using our resonance pattern, Commander. They want us to take the shot." "The Mars fleet survived," Kate said. "They knew the Empire would come for Earth next. They sacrificed everything to prepare for this moment." She straightened in her chair. "Target the Patriarch's ship. All power to the resonance device." The Valiant systems groaned as power redirected. The Mars fleet's formation created a focusing lens for their attack. "Incoming transmission from the Patriarch's vessel," Diana said. A man's face appeared on screen, aged but cruel. "You don't understand. The barriers were necessary. Beyond known space they're waiting. The ones who..." Kate cut the transmission. Fire. The resonance beam launched, amplified by the Mars fleet's formation. It struck the Patriarch's ship dead center. The massive vessel's barriers collapsed, its weapons overloaded. Secondary explosions chained across its hull. "Commander Blackwood is hailing," Diana said. "The Patriarch's lies end today." Sarah Blackwood's voice was firm. "There are no monsters in the dark. Only the ones we created ourselves. Mars chose to stand guard while Earth grew stronger. Now humanity can finally be united." The Patriarch's ship broke apart, its pieces burning against the stars. Across the battlefield, the remaining Imperial vessels surrendered. "It's over," Adrian said quietly. Kate looked at her crew, then at the Mars fleet ships standing guard over Earth. "No," she replied. "It's just beginning. We have a galaxy to rebuild. Together." Through the viewport, she watched Imperial ships powering down their barriers across the system. Like a wave, the effect would spread, freeing every human world from centuries of control. The stars were open. Humanity was whole again. And in the end, Earth's greatest allies had been their own people. Waiting in the dark, keeping faith across 300 years of exile, Kate Morrison smiled. The galaxy would never be quiet again.